Hello guys, welcome back to BoxPred. Another fight that's happening this weekend and I find really interesting is a fight between Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. The fight is for the WBC World Super Bantamweight title and the WBO World Super Bantamweight title. WBC title held by Figueroa and the WBO title held by Fulton, so they're both putting world titles on the line. Brandon Figueroa is 22, wins, no losses, 1 draw. He has 17 stoppages to his name. He's listed as an orthodox fighter. Stephen Fulton, 19-0, unbeaten. 8 stoppages to his name, also listed as an orthodox fighter. And I think this fight is quite intriguing. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll take a look at Brandon Figueroa first. He's got power, it's quite obvious to see. Look at his record, 22 wins, 17 of those by knockout, by stoppage. He is an aggressor, he's a very come-forward fighter. Okay, he's listed as orthodox, but I'm pretty sure he's a switcher. But that doesn't really matter because he ends up just fighting square. So he's in the middle of both. He's really neither when it gets to the nitty-gritty in the fight. As I've said, aggressive, come forward, throws a bundle of punches, very high volume fighter, likes to get into a war, he's tough, he's durable, he's very much an inside fighter, and he, as I said, he stands square and he has very little head movement, doesn't really have much in the way of defence. His defence is kind of smothering the opponent and trying to just attack from the inside, trying to close off distance so that his opponent can't get so much leverage on the punches. He can land sneaky punches. He lands a very good body punch. In his last fight, he fought against, was it Neri? Another guy who he took into a war, drew into a war, and ended up catching with a nice shot to the ribs and stopped the guy. He is quite a rangy fighter. He's one of these guys who has a lot of reach. You can see he's tall and rangy for the weight, okay? But he doesn't use it. He would be perfect fighting some kind of a distance fighter from the outside, straight shots, but he doesn't do that. He's kind of like an Antonio Margarito type guy who's got height and reach, but stands inside and just trades in all that war. Or that's at least how it ends up being. Because when I watch Figueroa at the start of fights, he kind of starts off fighting from the outside, and he looks like he wants to box. It's kind of like his coaches have said, we're going to go out there today and we're going to box. We're going to stick the jab out there. We're going to come follow behind with some straight shots, and we're going to move, and then about 30 seconds later he gets hit and he sort of squares up and takes it on the inside and starts trying to level the guy with hooks, and it all gets a little bit messy. So he's just a bit of a warrior, and he always makes it interesting. And as I've said, he's got that power, which is going to be a danger in this fight for Fulton. Stephen Fulton is my kind of boxer. Has a very nice jab, throws majority straight shots. If you see this guy throw a double, triple jab followed by a combo, honestly, it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really is. He has a good variety of shots that he throws. He doesn't just sort of stick to straight shots. He throws some nice hooks. He looks for the uppercuts. He likes to go to the body, like Figueroa. He won't neglect the body. He's a smart fighter. He has very good movement, good footwork. One of his weaknesses, if I can call it a weakness, is that he sometimes, quite a lot of the time when he is in defence, he moves back in straight lines, and that's quite good and effective a lot of the time. But there are sometimes against guys like Figueroa when you need to just turn your opponent. And there's been times in the past where I've watched Fulton and I've thought, you really should be turning this guy, because he's been pushed back onto the ropes and got trapped a little bit sometimes, and then he's had to escape round the side. Whereas I thought he'd be a lot better if he just turned in the first place, and then he would just save himself the energy and save himself the danger of being pinned up against the ropes. And especially against a guy like Figueroa, I think that's not where you want to be. Like, Figueroa wants you up against the ropes, he wants you inside. He wants to just have a war with you on the inside and just trade punches. And Fulton's too good for that. He needs to stay away from that. Okay, so I've seen him turn opponents masterfully. he's been able to exhibit the exact way it should be done when he does it. But there's other times when he's moved backwards in a straight line, and I just like him to mix it up a bit. If you've got the space, okay, fine, move back in a straight line to keep your distance, that's fine. But also, when needs be, when Figueroa tries to get inside, or if he has some success closing that gap, you need to slip. Just slip to the side, just move around the back. He's got speed of foot. He can dance around Figueroa all night. Okay, there's no contest here in terms of boxing. The way Figueroa can win this fight is either makes it a war and just trading punches the whole night on the inside, and the judges prefer his work, or he makes it a war and he catches Fulton and he ends up hurting Fulton and stopping him. Okay, those are the two options for Figueroa. Fulton needs to stay away from all that. And my concern is in both of these guys' last fight, they both had similar fights. They were both toe-to-toe wars. Because Fulton fought Leo, not sure how the pronunciation of that is, but he was drawn into a war as the fight went on, and they were toe-to-toe. And Fulton don't get me wrong, Fulton is a very accomplished boxer. He can fight on the inside, okay, and he can win on the inside against Figueroa. But why risk it? Why risk that? Going up against Leo wasn't really known as powerful fighter as Figueroa is in terms of stoppages. Figueroa, if you're going to do that against Figueroa this time out, you're going to be taking unnecessary risks, because Figueroa has a way of hurting guys when he gets in range. So what I want to see from Fulton is a lot of jabs, a lot of outside work, a lot of movement, a lot of turning, dancing around Figueroa, frustrating Figueroa. That's what I want to see from Fulton, and that's what I'm hoping we will see. But even if he takes it inside, Fulton is so accomplished, I still think that he can outbox Figueroa on the inside, because he did it to Leo. He's still able to, he's the type of guy, he can be inside, you can throw a few shots and trade some punches, but then suddenly he'll step back and slip to the outside, you'll miss your punches and he'll counter you. He really is an outstanding boxer, okay? Fulton is a guy that, when I watch him, I always want to see more. I'm interested to see where he goes and how good he can become. He could be a big name. Maybe the weight division will stop that happening. But I really think that he's kind of under the radar at the moment, and I think he's one of these guys, he's potential to be kind of pound for pound type of guy. I'm picking Stephen Fulton to win this fight, okay? I know there's danger there that Figueroa's got power, but he really is the second best in the ring in this one. He's going to come up against a guy who's able to box his ears off, really, and if Fulton plays his cards right, I honestly think that going against the grain, I think Fulton can stop Figueroa here, and I was going and flickering between either a later round stoppage for Fulton or a decision, okay? And in the end, I'm going to be conservative and go Fulton by decision, because last time out he fought against Leo, and he did catch Leo plenty of times but wasn't able to stop the guy, and Fulton's not known to have tremendous power. He's stopped guys in the past, but he's not really known as a one-punch artist. He's not like Figueroa, who's got a lot of knockouts to his name. Okay, he's got 8 KOs from his 19 fights. It could happen later in the stretch, because I see that Figueroa has no head movement. Okay, he's going to get blasted. He's going to get beaten up by Fulton if this goes the way I think it will. He's going to take plenty of shots to the head. But Figueroa is tough. He's the type of guy who just keeps coming. And against a guy like Fulton, if he's able to put pressure on, and also if he's able to touch Fulton with his power as well, then Fulton might get a little bit more conservative in his punch output. I think there is a potential for a late stoppage for Fulton in this one. He just needs to be careful because of those sneaky power punches that Figueroa can land, because he can end it. But as long as he uses his skills and he's able to use his movement and evade, he will possibly beat up Figueroa. Expect Figueroa to be marked up at the end of this fight good and proper. Figueroa needs to kind of, when he gets inside, I think, look to the body. He needs to try and slow Fulton down, and he needs to just fight his usual fight, but he needs to try and trap Fulton, to push Fulton back in a straight line towards the ropes, close the ring off, and take things inside. That's where he wants to be. Because if this is fought at distance, Figueroa has no chance. He can only get close. I think Figueroa will be able to bring him inside at many points in this fight, because Fulton does like a good scrap. I think he backs himself a lot, and he thinks, I'll just fight you at your own fight if they need be, and I'll still beat you. I just think it's dangerous going against a power punch like Figueroa, but I think he'll win the day in the end. So I'm going to go for Fulton by decision, conservatively, with the potential for a late stoppage. As always, thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts, and please do subscribe if you've enjoyed this. So thank you guys, and until next time, this is BoxPred.